That means just be open for it. Just become an instrument of His love. And of course you have to discriminate. You have to find out who you want to follow. Like you can't follow everybody. Then it becomes like friend of everybody, servant of none. And that doesn't fit in too well either. You have to have your Shiksha Guru who is precisely telling you what to do. Then you may also check with some others and compare and see if you can learn something here and there. But basically, in discipline, you have to be very disciplined. Just like when you drive a car. You know, you drive that car and you watch that traffic which happens right outside of your car, right there now. You don't have to look at other cars, you don't have to look at anything. Just look at the traffic. Because the second you're not watching that, you bang. So you better know what it means, concentrating on your real priority and your assignments. And that makes you a useful person. A person who is spaced out, you don't want him to drive your car, because he's going to ruin everything. So the concentration, ability and willingness, this is something essential. That's where responsibility and spiritual life starts. And that's what we need. We need to come in this connection with Sri Krishna, where we can actually take a full responsibility. And the more we take of that and the more serious we take it, the better for us. The more lasting will be the fruits you can reap. To reinvest. Because if you get some fruits, they belong to the one who gave you the seeds. So you have to reinvest them right there. That means replant. Like every farmer, every year has to replant, no? It's not only that you get the harvest, but additionally to the harvest, now you have to select the best seeds and don't consume them, but keep them carefully for the next planting season. Who does that? From Vandana Shiva, she gave a wonderful talk one day. She said, these are the women. Only the women that are really careful about the seeds. Men, they don't know even what seeds are all about usually. It's a very sacred duty to keep the best seeds. And that is basically, if you want to apply that to us human beings, that is the education of the children, because you planted the seed, now it's growing. Now this is the education. You have to prepare all this so that the child will grow up into a happy devotee. So now this assignment in the case of Grihastha life is really something sacred, because these seeds, now they are in a production period. Eventually they have to reproduce seeds again. Seed which you don't plant is useless seed. So therefore the brahmacharis and the sannyasis, they better plant the seeds of Guru Dev, otherwise what the heck are you doing? Huh? Not planting any seeds, not doing anything in this world, huh? Not taking care of anybody, just hanging around somewhere in peace. Like some people say, I like to be alone and in peace. No, it's not the world for being alone and in peace. This is the world for dedication to the sweet will of Krishna, whatever he wants. And Prabhupada said to us, if you're not getting married, then you should work as hard as if you have 10 children. Then I believe in your brahmachari life, in your sannyas life. Then I say, yeah, the guy's for real. Not somebody says, oh, I didn't want to get married because too much trouble. Huh? Yeah, very good. Huh? Avoiding trouble does brahmachari. Huh? That's not spiritual life, you know. Spiritual life means the life our gurus live. You want to find out what spiritual life looks like? Then look at our gurus. Look how they lived. Look how they pass their day from morning to night, either editing books, writing books, preaching, writing letters. You never see Srila Bhakti Vallabha Chittamaji idle. At least I never seen. You must take some rest too, no? But And then he's always absorbed. And not only he's absorbed in some service, but he has the whole world in his view. Anybody can come and ask him, he'll immediately open his heart to whatever. And that was the same thing with Srila Puri Maharaj, Srila Maharaj. Unique, opening your heart towards all. And most people, they say, most people you can notice, they go like, how are you? By the way, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Do you like it here? They ask you a question and never even give you time to answer. Because they're only thinking of their own little panorama. Everything else is already screened out. It's just going like that. If really you want to get to them and want to ask them something, you practically have to take them by the shoulders and start shaking them and say, I want to say something to you. You to me? Maybe you get a second of attention. But the basic things that most people are so much absorbed in their own little selfish ideas, they can't listen to you. They don't care what you say. They don't think it's in any importance to them. So therefore, if you find somebody like Srila Maharaj or like our Guru Vargas, my goodness, they're so dedicated. So extremely dedicated. The only thing they want is the welfare for the all living entities on the planet. That's the only thing they want. And because of that, they are also capable of giving good advice to everybody. Unless you are so eager to serve others and their better needs and life, you're not able to give any good advice. So to give good advice is very necessary, because that's what people need. They need good advice. Plenty of good advice. Children need good advice. Grihastas need good advice. Brahmacharis need good advice. Temples need good advice. Everybody's in great need. And because of that, you have a chance to serve others. If you have any experience, if your guru has taught you anything, then you give that advice to others with your example. And if your example is intense eagerness for service, well, then there's something real. You can't make a show in that. Some people try, and it works for a few days, weeks, maybe a few months. Extreme cases, even a few years. But eventually you can't make a show. It's too hard. It's a real sacrifice. So if you have this desire to become an instrument of His love, and you really pray for that, you cry for that, you shout for that, Krishna! Krishna! Don't let me alone, don't let me just with my mind, no. And you cry, you chant, and your chanting is a real part of your internal invocation to the Supreme Lord's presence. Don't worry about it, there will be no reason for remorse. Krishna will not let you down. He doesn't let His people down. He will permeate your heart, your emotion, your everything, and He will permit you entry into areas where the intellect can never enter. You can memorize the whole Gita Govinda and Govinda Lilamrita and you won't understand one word if you're not getting the blessings of Sri Guru. If you're not getting this eagerness in your heart of service to the Divine, and you start that service to the Divine with serving your Guru and the Vaishnavas. That's where you start. Intellects not accepted.